If you use AI meeting assistants, then you probably know Fireflies AI. Today, we're going to be comparing it to Fellow, a really popular Fireflies AI alternative that I've been super impressed by recently. First, I'm going to give you the big takeaways or the main differences between the two that you should care about. Then I'll show you the recording process for both step by step so you can see how the workflows differ. Then we'll talk about which tool is probably best for you. Both of these tools are incredibly feature rich and obviously have really strong AI capabilities. But while they're very similar, they also have a few distinct differences that you should know before committing to one or the other for yourself or for your team. Fellow did agree to partner with me on this video, but I will obviously still show you where Fireflies makes more sense because both products have real strengths. All right, let's get into it, guys. A common difference between AI note takers these days is whether or not they can record botlessly. I've made several videos about this because personally, I do not like adding another bot to every call I join. These days, Fellow and Fireflies both have botless recording options for their note takers. For that, you just need to download their desktop apps, and you'll be able to start recording without ever inviting a bot to your call. So either are good choices for this, but they do have one significant difference. When I record a meeting without a bot in Fellow, I get the audio recording playback of the meeting within the note. In my test, I also got automatic chapters, and I can create a clip from that audio if I want to share a specific moment with my team. This is a real important feature for me personally. When I record botlessly on Fireflies, I do not have that option. I still get the transcript and summary, but there is no audio to come back to. Now, Fireflies does have audio recording playback if you use the bot, but then you lose the whole benefit of recording botlessly anyways. Fireflies also has clips like Fellow, which they call sound bites, but those aren't available for botless desktop meetings because there's no recording to clip. And on the clip sharing side, Fellow's clips are shareable via password protected links. So if you're sending a moment from a client call to your team, you're not just handing out an open link to the whole recording, which is super nice. If you'd rather have a visible bot join, say for a webinar or a call where you'd want it clearly disclosed, you can toggle that on too. So it's not an either or, you get to pick what fits the specific meeting, okay? Now let me show you what it's actually like to record a meeting in each tool. We'll do a call in Google Meet for both and record without a bot, obviously. Then we'll compare the different results, okay? So here we have Fellow's desktop app, and you can see we've got a few things going on here. We have my calendar, and if I go to library, you can see my calls and clips and recaps and things. On the right, we have the Ask Fellow button, and here I can chat with everything that I've ever done inside of Fellow here. This is really useful. It's not just some cheap AI model. It actually has like reasoning and thinking, and it works really well. You can create different kinds of shortcuts to do all kinds of things with your notes. Now you also have your action items right here, so you can manage tasks. You can assign tasks to different team members if you have a team set up inside of Fellow. They also have templates to help you structure your meetings. They have analytics. You can track certain keywords within calls. Basically everything that you're going to need, okay? And now before I get into the actual call test run, let me also just run you through Fireflies. So Fireflies has a lot more features in their app than what you're seeing right here, but this is their desktop app. It doesn't actually let you do a lot of the things I just showed you in Fellow from your desktop. So you can see I've got the upcoming meeting here for today. I can begin taking notes if I want with that button. If I click these buttons, it'll open up the actual browser and take me to the Fireflies website. Just think of this as a launcher. Now we're going to actually test these two tools side by side in a meeting, okay? That way you can see how they perform and how the workflow might look for you, okay? So if I open up my browser, I have Google Meet here. I'm just going to start a quick meeting. So we'll start an instant meeting here. Okay, so we are in the meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn off camera for my own sanity here. Both Fireflies and Fellow have Chrome extensions. So if you wanted to bring some of their features into the call right here, you could install those extensions and then you'd be able to see your notes right here. So now let me get both of the note takers running. So we've got Fellow and Fireflies here, and I'm going to start botless recording for both. If I click record now botless and Fellow, it will begin. And then if I go over here, I can start taking notes. Okay, so we've got both of the note takers running. You can see there's nothing in the actual call. If I open this up, there's no bots or anything like that. So this is going to keep running, and I'm going to go ahead and close this so we can see things more clearly. And now let's go ahead and look through these two tools. Fellow has this preset sort of template here, and you can customize that with various templates. You could have come in here before the meeting and populated this with everything you needed for your team, for yourself. Fireflies also gives you a place to write your meetings that you can use. One of the big differences is that Fireflies does have this sort of live assistant thing, and you can see the live transcript here as it's recording. If that's something that you want to see, you have it right here, and that's pretty useful. You can click catch up for the last minute, and it will go and look at the last minute of the recording and sort of give you a response. With Fellow, you can't ask it questions about the current meeting as it's actively happening. That's a feature that they've told me is coming soon, but you can ask it questions about your entire meeting history. You can get a weekly recap if you like, and it'll go into your meetings and give you an answer. Okay, so let's say the meeting is done. Let's go ahead and end it. So I can just click the end button on both of these. Now, both of these are going to convert these meetings into meeting notes. Obviously, I'm just covering the features of the tool, so it's not going to be the most interesting meeting notes here, but we will be able to compare the end result we get here. So both of these finished in just a few seconds. It was very quick, and you can see with Fellow, we've got its sort of structure here. It follows the topics that were covered with timestamps. It gives us a summary overview. We didn't have any action items or decisions that were made, so those are blank for this template that we used. And then in Fireflies, we got a similar thing. We got an overview and then sort of like section details. We have the timestamps here, and when you click them, it takes you to the transcript, but you can't actually play it back, which is a little disappointing. When we go over to Fellow here, we can go to the timestamp. I don't know if these are showing up in the recording, but both of these have, and it actually plays the audio for you. I've got it set at 1.5 speed. You can adjust it how you want. You can see there's two different sections here, the introduction and then the comparison that I did. If there was a lot more going on in the meeting, there would obviously be more chapters to it, but having these visual sections is super convenient. Having the playback here is super nice. If you want to turn it into a clip, you can just click create a clip, and then I can go through the transcript here. I can select any moment that I want to turn into a clip. It'll show me the part that's being turned into a clip, and I can click save. Then I'm able to send this via email. I can share, and I can set it to anyone with the link, and I can copy the link and send that to anybody that I like. If I go back to the meeting library here in Fellow, I have the meeting recap that we were just looking at, and then I have the separate clip that was saved right here, and I can pull up that clip really easily. One thing to note is now that the meeting is over and processed, I can also go in here to Ask Fellow, and I can chat with this meeting and ask it all the questions about the context about this specific meeting right here. One of the differences you might have noticed here is that Fireflies has a lot longer of a summary, and then this one's a little bit more concise. This is just the default summary format for Fellow. If you do want a different style, you just go up here and change the template or create your own. Also, it didn't find any tasks. If it did have tasks, it would have created those and turned them into action items over here. In Fireflies, you also have the option to choose different template formats if you want. You can see Fireflies did come up with some tasks. I don't know how it would have came up with these tasks. So maybe if you want just a bunch of random tasks, Fireflies might help you out. But if you want a more controlled, more reserved task creation, maybe go for Fellow here, because it didn't even find any tasks, which is correct. There shouldn't have been a single task from that meeting context, right? So there you have it. You saw the different workflows you'd experience using either Fellow or Fireflies. For me, I obviously covered the deal breakers within Fireflies that make Fellow a clear choice, but everyone's different. Which experience did you prefer more? One more thing that might matter depending on who you are: if you're on a team that deals with compliance or client data, Fellow is SOC 2, Type II, and HIPAA compliant, and they commit to never training their AI models on your data. That's not something every note taker leads with, so So if that's a priority for you, or if you work in an industry that cares a lot about security, like private equity, investment banking, asset management, or legal, Fellow is the most secure option for regulated industries. Now, before we go, you may be wondering how much each costs, because with two very similar tools, it can often come down to which one is actually cheaper, right? Fellow's team plan starts at $7 per user per month, billed annually, compared with $10 for Fireflies Pro. Both have free options too, and the Fireflies free option even has unlimited recording, but you'll find that the free plan Fireflies provides limits a lot of the really important features you would want from the tool. That's my take. What do you guys think? Let me know below. If you want to try Fellow out, there's a link in the description. It's free to sign up and start recording meetings right now. Use that link to support the channel and like the video if this helped you out. Here's some other videos I made breaking down more AI tools. Go give those a watch next, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.